So we looked at New Orleans and figured out what were the things that people remember of those locations, and the landmarks, the points of interest, the culture, and we wanted to bring that to our version of it, but we didn't want to be confined to the real lay of the land, and we wanted to be able to bring things that make games exciting. So the thing about making 1968 authentic for New Bordeaux is not just what happened in 1968, but everything that preceded 1968. For example, when you're listening to the radio, you're hearing everything from the 1960s, the 1950s, the 1940s. The same can be said for the architecture of the world as well. You're dealing with things that have existed for the past century. So with this historical context of what happens in New Orleans and what happens in our version in New Bordeaux, we are able to weave that into the background history of each neighborhood that the player is going to encounter.
New Orleans is an old city. There's stuff from the turn of the century, the 20s and 30s. You know, that's scattered around and people may not be aware of all of that stuff. We structure the city in a way that has you going out into these areas that are very, very unique, but then always in the flow of the game is driving you back through things that are more familiar and more accessible to the new player. What we're trying to do with the city is present this facade of this is New